this hearing on Friday, everyone had the exact same copy. And that Ms. Wisco's phone compressed it is not our problem. It's not, we're not responsible for that.
Didn't go to her phone.
If I may.
Well, no, one at a time. One at a time. Well, why don't you start, Ms. Wisco?
Can you talk into a microphone? Yes. On November 5th, 2021, I received at 10:33 a.m. an email from Detective Martin Howard with one video file attached. It was a 4 millibyte video that was titled IMG_0159.MOV. I have never looked at that video on my cell phone. As soon as I received that video via email, I downloaded it to this laptop, which is the evidentiary laptop we've been using through the duration of this trial.
What manufacturer is that?
This is a Lenovo.
Okay, go ahead.
And I relabeled it after it had been brought into evidence by the state as Exhibit 73 because it was Exhibit 73 for ease for bringing it up, showing it to the jury. After we found out in Friday that there was this discrepancy after the videos being shown, and for the record, we did not buy that TV because of this drone video. We actually brought it in for John Black's slowed down testimony. That was the reason we brought this TV in. However, when we were in court, I played the Exhibit 73 on my computer because the state's computer wasn't here. ADA Krause was the one who brought up the fact this isn't the good quality video. We didn't realize until playing them side by side, mine and then the state's, that there was any difference in quality. That was Friday. After Friday happened, I emailed both Binger and ADA Krause, and I asked for an exact forensic copy of what they had given to the state crime lab. ADA Krause responded back to me, forwarded me the email he's talking about to Detective Howard, and that also contained one file named as IMG_0159.MOV that was a 4 megabyte file. Simultaneously, ADA Binger had been in contact with me, told me I could come pick up the file from a flash drive. I drove here, I had him take me inside, and I confirmed that this file that he said was directly provided to the state crime lab was an 11 megabyte file, not 4. So the information contained in the flash drive was over double the size, almost 3 times the size as to what was emailed to me. When ADA Krause followed up to me with that email, forwarding me his email from Detective Howard, it was the same 4 millibyte file that I had gotten previously.
So clearly Attorney Wisco's email is compressing these files. That's not our responsibility. Oh, I didn't write Outlook software.
You know what?
I forwarded
But wait a minute, I don't know if she had finished.
No. Every other piece of evidence from the state crime lab in this situation has been provided to us via Dropbox. Dropbox provides an exact forensic copy of what they have. The file title name in this situation should have been exactly the same as the one provided to the state if it was the exact same copy. The file name was nowhere near similar. The one that was provided to the state crime lab that Attorney Binger gave me a copy of on Saturday had a very long, convoluted title that involves lots of letters and numbers that are the type that are usually associated with files taken from a drone because they indicate a lot of different information like the location of the drone and the time. The file I received originally on Friday the 5th was not labeled that same and was not the same file amount. There's no way that what ADA Krause is saying is true because the file name would not have changed if my computer was compressing anything. It was a different file that we were provided from what was provided to the state, at least for what Attorney Binger gave me on Saturday. They're completely different.
I think we're confusing the issue here. The work product of the state crime lab is sent via Dropbox. That's how they've submitted all the videos that they worked on and the photos they worked on. The email from my personal Gmail account is the file that went to the state crime lab. I was told to bring it to the state crime lab. I was already home on Saturday. I did not have access to anything but my computer. I had Detective Howard email it to me, and I put it on a thumb drive at home, and I took it to the crime lab. I don't know if Mr. Binger somehow retitled it, but the image I gave the crime lab is on my phone as the title that she indicated. That was the one that went to the crime lab, and I will testify as an officer of the court. I take offense that what I'm saying is untrue. Clearly,
Well, we're gonna obviously, we're going to have to take this testimony under oath, and we're gonna have to get somebody to explain all this, who has some competence, which,
If you look at the report from the state crime lab, they indicate the originating file that they received was the one with the expanded title that we did not
Right.
receive until Saturday. If it had been the same file as 88 Kraus says it is, why wasn't that labeled on their receipt as being IMG 059 or 159?
Mr.
If that
Kraus?
is the exact same thing, then that does not add up.
Mr. Kraus?
Why did he include in his report a different title?
I'm looking at the email. It is image0159.mov. When it's downloaded to computer, perhaps it has a different title. On my phone and on my Gmail, that is the image. I'm watching the video right now. This is the precise one that was given to the state crime lab. I had no other access. At this point, the first time this was ever put on any kind of hard drive is when I did it Saturday at my home. And I'll do a little experiment here. I'll save it to my computer and see if the title changes. But
We're gonna do this. Pardon me?
I accidentally saved it 3 times because I was trying to re-download it
Yeah.
multiple times, and it all saved it as IMG 0159.
Okay, well, you know what, we can't resolve this now, because this is gonna require expert testimony from people, and we're gonna have to take testimony under oath as what the facts are, and so I'll reiterate my comment, which started this discussion, which was that given the cloudy picture about this particular exhibit, this is a high-risk strategy for the state. I was queasy about this from the beginning, and I'm only queasier about it now.
Judge, what we propose is to show the jury the exhibits. I'm really not concerned about the image. As I've said multiple times, I believe much too much has been made of this image. Mr. Binger didn't even mention it in his closing. We didn't show it in either our closing or rebuttal. The other evidence was admitted without objection with a stipulation to authenticity, and I believe it should be played. It's already been played for the jury, and they should be brought down, and we can put all the other exhibits on a thumb drive outside of 160, what is it? Outside of exhibit 155, which is the image that the court is received over objection. But the other exhibits were not objected to. And again, the defense, although a prior attorney, had access to this video 3 days after the incident. So to now claim that they are somehow prejudiced is preposterous. I understand it's previous counsel, but it is still the defendant's attorney. He was charged with this crime, and if Attorney Pierce did not turn something over that he had and that he seemingly brought to the Tucker Carlson show, that also is not our responsibility.
Your Honor, can I briefly respond to that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Pierce was my client's attorney. As Mr. Kraus said, Tucker Carlson purchased that video. That video is very different from the video that was delivered here in quality, color, there. We stipulated to the video based upon what they gave us. We didn't see it as anything different. We were given.
I want to stop you now.
Okay.
Because why do you say that the one that Mr. Carlson bought, Tucker Carlson bought, is different from?
Black and white.
That was okay. Go ahead.
And we stipulated to that video when we looked at our copy because it didn't add anything except color. We didn't have the quality. And that's where this whole problem starts. And we weren't aware of the quality until after the evidence had closed on Friday, when we were here and it was plugged in as Ms. Wisco was saying. That's when we found out there was a problem, what had been given to us versus what they had. That's when the whole problem comes up. So that's as to that video. The other one, and I'll just say it because it's going to be an issue, FBI aerial with all POI'd marked. That, when we're going over this list, it's come to my attention. I played that for the jury. It never got marked or moved in, even though it's been played.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you,
Can we
Judge.
put it in evidence now?
That's what I think would be the proper way to do it.
If the defense agrees that all the drone videos go back, we will agree that
I'm
that
not
should be
going to
marked
run a
in
compromise.
evidence.
This isn't, let's make a deal here.
They did not mark the evidence. They did not move it.
But it was played to the jury.
Yes, and not marked or moved.
I thought it was part of the hard drive that everything was going in.
And I thought we gave them a full and complete copy of the video. So.
Well, I'm going to reopen the evidence and admit what they saw. Give it the next sequential number.
Well,
How can I not give it to them? You tell me.
I mean, then I would ask that evidence that's been admitted also go to the jury, that has been legally admitted in front of the jury, and follow the proper procedure.
Let's take one thing at a time.
Your Honor, just for the record as well, there was an additional difference that we found in the metadata between the two videos, is that if you look at the metadata from the file that we received from the state, is their create date is 11/5/2021 at 15/10/31. If you look at our video that we were provided, the metadata, the create time is 21 minutes and 19 seconds later.
Judge, we're looking at the Tucker Carlson interview with Attorney Pierce. It is not black and white, it is color, and it actually does seem to be high definition, like this video. We're watching, it's online, you can watch it.
The one I have is black and white.
Mr. Rittenhouse, the attorney, has seen the real version.
What about that? If his prior attorney, he's got it.
I don't know. They said that Tucker Carlson bought it. And that's what goes to this whole thing, this urban air. We sent out an investigator to interview the owner of Urban Air to try and get this video. And I can get the report, I don't have it with me. And the individual lives out in the Lake Geneva area. And he lied to our investigators and said, we are mistaken that the drone permit wasn't for this video. And now it's come from his company. He shut down his company 17 days after this video was released. We've tried to get this video, and then it shows up on the Friday after the trial has started. And it's dropped off by his employee, not the person who we interviewed who owned the company.
I don't know who was interviewed. I believe that is the owner Mr. Beeman? Oh. Okay.
I'm shaking my head no. I answered no. It was
Well,